Hey everybody, this is Lynette Beatty. I'm so excited to spend the next few minutes with you talking about ways that we can soak in the presence of God. If you are a more visual learner and you want to read a copy of this blog post, head on over to LynetteBeatty.com and you can view the written version of this blog post there. So here's the question. When was the last time you had a good soak? My son could spend hours in the bathtub, which for a 10-year-old boy is pretty impressive, if I do say so myself. Once I told him to hop into the shower, and an hour later I opened the bathroom door to find him up to his neck in bubbles, soaking in warm, soapy water. The air was thick with steam and the scent of Old Spice, his favorite. My boy, eyes closed, was just taking it all in. And as I write this, I remember this is what it feels like for me to be in the glory cloud, where the presence of Jesus is so thick, I don't want to move, and the peace is heavy like a weighted blanket. There's sweetness in the air that I can almost taste. And in this space, the only thought I have is to be overwhelmed with Him. No words are exchanged. The only sound is my heart slowing to match the sound of His heartbeat. And I soak in this moment, just like my son, not worried about the time or the happenings on the other side of the door. The one most important thing is my attention to the lover of my soul, drinking deeply from Him, the well of salvation. This, my friends, this is how I care for my soul. This is how I take care of my heart. It's how I connect with my heart and with His. And I don't use this time for prayer requests or warfare or journaling or writing sermons. This is just a time to just be with Him. The insight and the revelation, the intercession, the writing, it may come later, but not now. So maybe after reading this, you're thinking, it's time for me to have a good soak. Honestly, I want to shy away from giving you a formula, a particular way of making this happen. That can get tricky because what works for me may not work for you. And the Holy Spirit may have a different idea entirely each time you get together with Him. But I will give you a couple of tips that seem to be a common theme in my experiences and in others that have this practice. Tip number 1. Shh. Quiet your mind. This is a great time to turn off that cell phone, put it on Do Not Disturb, to still your heart and your lips. This may not be the best time for your prayer list. Approach the moment as if you've seen the most awe-inspiring wonder. A moment so special, you wouldn't want to disturb it with too many words. Tip number 2, look at Jesus. Use the eyes of your heart to imagine yourself in the room, in a garden, in the throne room, wherever, but imagine yourself with Jesus. Turn your heart toward Him in focused delight and in love. And then pay attention to what you are seeing, sensing, feeling, and hearing with your heart while you're with Him. However and wherever you do these things is completely up to you and to Him. I've experienced His refreshing presence in group settings or alone in my living room, and even lying in a hotel bed preparing to teach on a trip. Sometimes there was instrumental music. Sometimes there's no music at all. It's just me and Him. The important part to remember is that flexibility is key. One more thing. The more my son has found delight in soaking in the tub, I've noticed a few things about him. I hardly ever have to tell him to take a bath now, and I don't have to fight with him. Again, as a boy mom, I am incredibly thankful because this is a miracle. But the other 2 things I've noticed is that he's in a restful, peaceful, and playful mood when he's finished soaking. And based on his testimony, his sisters have started to do the same. Just taking time for a good, long soak. And when I'm finished with my soak, my soul feels a little bit cleaner. My heart is lighter and my mind is clearer for having been with Jesus. And I can feel His joy. These are the times of refreshing that come from the presence of the Lord. And maybe, just maybe, based on my testimony, some of you will do the same.